I have a question to ask today for this video. How aware are you really? How aware do you really think you are? And what is awareness? Because that was more than one question. But I find a lot of people, and I'm not like pointing fingers, because I only understand some of these things because I've been researching it and learning about it for a long time. But I guess instead of pointing fingers at other people, let's put it on myself first. I found myself, I've been sick for a really, really long time. Like even as I'm doing these videos, I look completely normal, I act completely normal. But I realized recently, like it's weird because it was like for years and years and years, I always had a runny nose. I always had a runny nose, my head was always hot, I always had a lot of headaches, feel like I'm getting fevers easily. And it's like this, it's not like something new, it's not like it's something recent, it's like I've always been like this for as long as I could really remember, going back into high school. And I never really thought anything of it. Like, it really makes me realize how the mind really works at times, because it's like I'm clearly have a problem with my nose running, clearly I have a problem with headaches, my head being hot and burning, and I've been learning all this stuff. But I realized just recently, after I stopped eating, because after I stopped eating so much bad food, because that was really what was ruining my mind and just poisoning me, making me sick, I realized how sick I really was the whole time from the bad food. Because when I stopped eating it, then I had that comparison where it's like, wow, I feel like there's a sickness leaving me. And it's like when I noticed the sickness was leaving, it was like, whoa, I was sick the whole time? I've been potentially sick for years on end, only having momentary breaks, and I didn't even realize it. It's like, where's even my awareness? Like all the videos I've done, everything I've learned, everything I've talked about is like, how aware am I really? I was chronically sick. I had chronic headaches. My head is hot right now. It's always really, really hot. And my nose, every single time I go to the bathroom, I wipe my nose. Times I go to the bathroom just to wipe my nose. All day, I am wiping my nose. And it's like, I don't even realize I'm sick. Like, where's my awareness? And you know, I've tried different things. I've tried meditation. I've learned, I've studied a lot of information. I'm still not even that aware of myself. I think a lot of awareness, getting onto where awareness starts, it starts with yourself. It starts in your body. It starts with your feelings. The mind assumes that you're aware of something just automatically, but we don't realize that we can be doing something and not being aware of it. Now that sounds crazy. It's like, that makes no sense whatsoever. I understand what I said literally makes no sense, but I'm trying to explain to you. It's like kind of like I could be here right now, perfect example. I started over there, I walked here, I walked there, then I walked here. Was I thinking the whole time, okay, well, let's walk this direction. Now let's walk this direction. Now I'm gonna walk this direction. I'm trying to explain to you, it's like I was just doing it without thinking about it. Like it would just happen. I wasn't truly thinking about it. I wasn't planning everything. It's not like every time I do something, it's like, because we don't have time. Humans, we run around on autopilot a lot. Yeah, that's a good word to use. We run around on autopilot all day because we don't have the time and energy to plan out everything. When you're driving a car, you don't have the time to be like, oh, okay, here's the steering wheel. Like every single time, just over and over. Here's the brake pedal, here's the gas. There's other cars, avoid them. Like that's, if you were to do that, even after just a few minutes, you'd be tired, you'd be drained. So we gotta understand that we're creatures of habits. Things that we do, we just learn to do it without really thinking about it. And another thing I really want to bring up too is that just because you're thinking about something, that still doesn't mean you're aware of it. I know none of this makes sense. Like I was talking to one of my coworkers about it, and I realized that when you say these things, absolutely none of it makes sense whatsoever. And you really need the comparison of when you are aware of something to understand the difference. And the difference between understanding it is feeling the difference. It's like feeling how your mind is in a different state of mind, how your body feels differently, how you're not just going through your life with just anxiety and not really feeling what's going on. So I want to take attention right now to our bodies, to how we feel, to our inner feelings. I want to bring up the fact that there's a lot of overweight people out there. I'm just gonna say it. I think it's I'm not here to offend anyone. I'm not here to offend anyone, like I said, but there's a lot of overweight people out there. Are you walking around overweight? Like, oh, I feel sick? 'Cause I'm gonna be honest, I've been there. I haven't been like 50 pounds overweight, I guess is the way to put it. Or maybe I have been. Let me say I haven't been 100 pounds overweight, okay? I don't know what that's like, but I know even just 20 pounds overweight, especially when you're not eating any good food, you are walking around with this sickness. It's just like a constant sickness. And it's like, I had a friend, really overweight friend, and I helped him lose a lot of weight and change his diet, and he really expressed to me too that when he started eating differently, he realized how bad the other food really was because he didn't have the comparison before, and he realized how he was walking around with this tiredness and this sickness. But when something, yeah, this is where the awareness comes in. When something becomes normal, just becomes routine, you're not aware of it anymore. Gotta, like, I'm trying to put all these thoughts out here for you guys, but I'm here going in my head a lot, and I'm thinking about it a lot, I'm overthinking it, because I really deeply understand that this doesn't make sense. I understand most people that are watching this probably aren't gonna get the message that is behind this video. They're not gonna understand any of it. They're gonna think, when I was trying to explain this to my friend, he's like, are you high today? I was like, I'm not high today. Not today, man. Nah. But don't want to get into that. Like, what can I really say? There's a different place, there's a different world that we can live in. The way we live in our lives is not necessarily the way we should be living our lives. There's a place on the other side of it where it's more calm, it's more peaceful, it's more in the moment. We go through too much of our lives thinking about future scenarios and future problems, and we pretend, we lie to ourselves that they're happening now. Like, I saw my coworker doing it. He's like, oh, they're gonna call me because I gotta go get reshop the stuff, I gotta go put it back on the aisles. And I'm like, okay, when they call you, you go get it. Then when you got it, you go put it on the aisles. But you don't need to be in this future like daydream of the world, not being aware of just what's going on here. Like, he's getting stressed out because he has to fix all the shelves, and I'm like, okay, fix the shelves. Why do you gotta worry about it? You're not, it sounds weird, but it's like you're not being where you really are. You gotta try really hard to understand that when you're in these mind daydreams, thinking about any kind of situation, when you're thinking about anything besides where you are now, then you're not really aware of what you're actually doing. Because you're here like, oh, stock the shelves. Like, this is what you're doing, you're stocking the shelves. But in your mind, you're like, oh, I gotta go get more stuff to stock. Apply this to wherever you are. I can't really name every single example there is out there, but you can apply to wherever it is you're doing, at your job, in your life. Try to think about when you're not focused on where you are now. And the other thing is, try to realize when you are focused on when you are now, but it's just because you're just trying to get it over with. So you never stop, you never pause, you never enjoy life. Life happens in the pauses. When you take a breath and you relax, that's when life happens. Life doesn't happen in here, in a world where you just get lost in thoughts and anxiety. I feel like this video is going everywhere, but this is probably the right way. Because this message isn't gonna hit everyone. Not everyone's gonna understand it. Like, I kept trying to explain it to my coworkers in different ways, and they're not getting the message. They're not seeing it. So I guess where this is going, concerned about all these people. Where this is going is for that one person who will understand it. Those few people who will understand that. Honestly, I'm going in my head now. I'm thinking too much. I'm quieting down. There's people walking around. It's like, you see, I'm shooting a video, and then I'm going in my head. Yeah, I'm doing it now. See, now I guess, I don't know, I guess that was probably good, that was probably bad in a lot of ways, but it's like, then now you see me doing it. Now I'm here, now I'm more quiet, now I'm in my head more, now I'm walking away. Because then there's people coming by and I'm like, oh, worried about them. Now I can't focus on this video. Now I'm like in my head even more. And I'm trying to like get out of my head. I'm trying to be here with you guys to make this video. I understand this message isn't gonna get to everyone. Not everyone's gonna understand it, but I'm trying to make this video for that person who's still here, who's still listening, that person who wants to get it. Yeah, it's a good place to take this video. You're not gonna get it unless you wanna get it. A lot of the things I teach, you're not gonna understand it unless you wanna understand it, because it's not gonna just happen in you. It's sort of like you gotta use the law of attraction. You gotta use the master key. Where if you really want to understand something, the only way you're going to understand it is you take that thought. Like I could be like, you're not completely aware of what's really going on. And that's the thought. And you hold on to it, and you're not going to understand it as I'm saying it. You're not going to. It doesn't make any sense. You're like, what do you mean? I'm here. I'm not aware. But you gotta let that thought grow and grow and grow inside of you until you have that experience where you're like, oh, wait, there's something different right now. I feel different. What is this? I've never been so here. Like this happened to me like this one time. I had this huge experience where I was watching a video by Tyler. It was like, God, I want to say it was like an hour and a half to like 3 hours long. And then by the end of it, I really felt like I was so much where I was. Like I let go of so much trauma I was holding on to, so much emotional pain. Like I really brought it up and let it go and dealt with it. And then I had this moment where I was just so in touch and in tune and just so really where I was that I didn't even know what it was. I didn't know how to respond to it. I couldn't even handle it or understand it. Like I felt even more confused. And it might be a little scary at first. A lot of these thoughts might be scary at first. But this has happened to me before. This has happened to me with a lot of thoughts where I have the thought, like any thought you have, if you don't understand it, if it doesn't make any sense to you, but you want to understand it, then hold on to it. Hold on to that idea right now. Like I'm trying to teach you right now, if you're willing to listen, I'm trying to teach you how you're going to discover any sort of awareness in yourself, any realization, how you're going to get to the I am, how you're going to get to the core of who you are, how you're going to be able to be happy and relaxed and at peace no matter where you are and what's going on. But you got to take these thoughts that I'm giving you, any thoughts in any of my videos, if you don't understand it, if it confuses you, that's the one you gotta grab onto. You gotta hold on to it wherever you go. And you gotta just let that thought keep growing and growing and growing until you have the realization where you understand it. Let's try some honesty. Be honest with yourself right now. Do you feel like you're in your head? No, it's not a thought. A lot of us are too quick to think about it. It's more of like I say a lot in my videos, go into your feet and feel your feet from the inside and focus on the feeling of your feet, even if it's pain. Go into your stomach, focus on the feeling in your stomach. Usually there's a lot of sickness in there. You gotta handle that. But I want you to now take the awareness up and feel into your head. Right now I can feel a lot of tension in my head. I feel a lot of blood pumping. I feel what I call stagnant blood, like there's a lot of dead, stuck blood in there. There's way too much salt from all the food I eat. It's affecting my blood pressure. It's not letting me think straight. Like I feel it. These aren't, like I'm speaking them as if they're thoughts. I can say it as if a thought, but the thought comes after the awareness. Thoughts, but that's only because I brought the awareness there. We assume that because the brain assumes that because we're thinking of something, we're aware of it, but thoughts don't really work like that. Awareness can only come to a thought if you bring it there afterwards. So it's like you have some thought, I want to kill that guy. It's a weird, crazy thought. Did you really honestly think to yourself, oh, you want to hurt that person? Or thoughts don't really work like that. It's more like it just pops in your head and you'll be like, oh, why did I think that thought? That's awareness. That's a good example right there now. That's awareness when it comes afterwards. Or it's like if you get angry, then you'll be like, oh, why am I angry? That's awareness. When you're just angry and you're like, I'm angry. Ah! This is what you did to me. This is what I'm gonna do to you. That's not being aware of what's really going on. That's you just being a subject to your bodily impulses, thinking that because you're angry, your anger is justified. But because you're angry doesn't mean it's justified. It just means you're angry. Doesn't even mean you're angry. It means your body's angry. You're not necessarily your body or your mind. You're not necessarily your thoughts or your emotions. There's more to you than that. There's a force and a power inside of you that allows you to change what you're thinking about. That allows you to change what you're feeling. If you're just some mindless being just walking around having all these thoughts, having all these emotions, who is the one that is aware of the fact that you're thinking? Who is aware of the fact that you're angry? Who is aware of it? Who knows that you're angry? This I know is who you are. This is where your awareness begins. This is the birth of your awareness. We're all domesticated. Like, I feel like I'm jumping into a whole nother subject, but I'm just gonna do it. Dan Miguel Ruiz talks about how we're all domesticated. When we go through our lives, we're punished and we're rewarded. We're punished when we're bad, we're rewarded when we're good. We're taught how to live our lives. We're given all these rules, and then we just go through our lives thinking we know who we are, what we want to do. Well, we didn't even actually make any of these decisions. We didn't decide the rules in our head. We just did what we were told to do by our parents, by our teachers, by our religions, by our governments. I really want to express to you that maybe the way you're living your life could be different. It could be better. This is really, I guess, the goal of all of my videos, no matter what it's about, to express to you that there's a different way to look at the world. There's a different way for you to live your life, and I want you to get to that place, and I'm trying to really just connect the dots for you, but it's only you who can get there. I can say everything in the world. I can recite all of Eckhart Tolle for you. I'm not saying I can physically do that. I'm just saying if I did do that, that's not necessarily gonna wake you up. All the information in the world, if you made it to this point, you're looking for something. I know you want something. You know that you're having too many thoughts and you can't stop thinking, or you're having anger issues and you can't truly control it. All you know how to do is suppress it. And I'm really here trying to just crack through to that person who's still there, who's still listening, and tell you there is another way to live your life. There is another way to look at the world, but only you can find it if you keep looking for it. You're not gonna find it by gaining all the inner knowledge. The knowledge helps. I'm not telling you to go not to seek knowledge. I'm only where I am because I sought so much knowledge, because someone showed me that there's another way to live our lives. The way we live our lives are just based off of what we've seen other people do, and we take off of them. We learn from adults when we were a child, and then we mimic what we thought looked like a good idea, what we thought seemed cool, what we thought seemed like the right thing, or the good thing to do. But it's time for you to take control of your life. To understand is in the, to understand, well, it's like I'm trying to put these words together, but it's like I know. It's not about the words in this video. This video is just not about the words. Like, I have videos where I just go off. It's like da 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 da, all these words at you, all these thoughts at you. And yeah, still watch the other videos. They're all really helpful. Watch other people's videos. Watch my videos. Read some books. It's all gonna help you. All the knowledge in the world will help you. Eckhart Tolle is Eckhart Tolle. He is his like spiritual, like enlightened self, but it is not like he didn't also study. He also read books. He also saw masters. He also learned from the best. But what I'm trying to tell you is that it's not just about the learning. It's not just about the knowledge. This video, yeah, I can't even speak because it's not about the words. It's about you discovering within you the truth to which all these words point. It's about you finding the place that I'm talking about. Meditation is a way, like, people don't like to hear that thought. It's a way to find the place, though. That's all it's really about. It's a learning. Like last night I was trying to meditate and I realized how much I actually really need to, because like I was trying to let go of my thoughts, And then once you try to let go of your thoughts, you realize how much you're really stuck in thought loops, how much you can't just clear your mind and be calm. And it's when you're in that calmness of no thoughts that you actually can be truly aware of who you are and what's really going on. Awareness isn't like, I know that rock is there. Awareness is more like feeling. Everything has energy. Everything. Those trees, they have energy. It's believed that even rocks, even inanimate objects have energy. They have a vibration to it that's coming off of it. Being aware isn't consciously knowing that tree. It's not knowing a person. Your mind cannot know anyone on the physical realm. If my mind were to try to know one of these trees, it could just know the tree is green. We make wood out of it. The wood is kind of a brownish color. The trunk, like facts, what kind of tree that is. There's leaves, there's branches. These are all facts. All I can know is facts with my mind. The mind only can know facts. It could only analyze facts. It could only just record them. That's it. That's all the mind knows, is facts. Knowing that tree is more of like a deep interconnection bond. Like when you know a person, when you love a person, do you love that person because you're like, you're my mom, you feed me. Like that sounds depressing as I'm saying it. Like, you feed me, you've bathed me, you've clothed me. See, now like the emotions coming up as I was saying it those times, but is that feeling, that's the real knowing. That's where the real love for a person comes. You don't love somebody, you don't logically love somebody. You can't logically convince yourself to love somebody. You emotionally, on a deep level, feel something for that person. You feel a deep connection with them, and that's why you want to be with them. That feeling, that's more of the knowing, while the mind is still just lost in a world of facts and is never gonna find. I'm gonna wrap up this video here. Honestly, I expect this is probably one of the videos that most people might have clicked off. But if you're still here, if you're still watching, I am going to plug in my channel and say I have other videos too, which are really helpful, really insightful. So you should check it out if you like the ideas I shared here. If you like the energy and the vibration, if you like what I'm trying to just give to you. I'm trying to give you something. I'm trying to show you something. But if you really want to find awareness, if you really want to know how to calm down, be in control of yourself, actually understand how the world really works, how humans really work, how you really work. Half of it is the knowledge. Don't be afraid of the knowledge. You should watch every single video, read every single book you can. But half of it, and maybe even more importantly, is the understanding of it. Is the understanding of everything you learn. And the only way you're gonna understand it isn't by learning more and more and more and more. It can help, but to truly understand it, as Eckhart Tolle would say, is feeling deep within you the truth to which it points. If you're still here, thank you for watching. Have a lovely day, and just take whatever thoughts stood out to you and just hold them in your head. Walk around the next few weeks with whatever thought you felt stood out to you. Walk around the next few weeks, keep holding that thought and keep looking for the truth. Not in the more books, not in more videos, but in yourself, in the feelings, and seeing, oh wait, now I understand everything. Now it makes sense. Now I feel the difference. Now I can see it with my own eyes. Have a nice day.